Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. So the southern Badlands are going to be a problem. We have to have control of this province, either through direct ownership or through a military alliance with the owner, in order to win the game. Right now, this 4-settlement province is split up over 4 different forces, 2 of which we are in sort of uncertain standing with. But I think we're going to have a hard time. This is going to be a persistent problem. It doesn't have to be our right now problem, but we have to constantly keep an eye on this. So claiming Gorgazon for ourselves is going to give us a stake here. And then from there, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we end up at war with... I don't know, we're getting positive. Maybe if we end up high enough with Istalia and the Border Princes, we could end up in a military alliance. It does have to be an actual military alliance, right? Vassalization or military alliance. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good plan here. We sort of have a direction. We're just going to keep moving in that direction. So we know that there are enemies that must be dealt with up here somewhere. Okay, if we're going to cross the river... I think there are a variety of crossings around here. I guess we'll head this way. We're going to take some damage from moving through the Badlands, and there's not really anything that can be done about that. But because we are now formally allied with the dwarves, their territory is treated as friendly, so we will be able to replenish pretty quickly whenever we pause to replenish. So I guess we're gonna eat some ugly attrition damage here. How far are we from... Okay, the Raid of Tsunki is available next turn if we want it, and we may well want it. Okay, where does this hero need to end up? He needs to end up in Ratok's army, right? So here's what we'll do. Swap a unit with Krukgar to give us an open slot. Wait. No, these armies both have 20 units. We need to give Yarrick a unit to make room. Okay, that's how we do it. So Yarrick, you come up here and trade me. Unfortunately, the unit that we get from Yarrick is going to have very little movement left. So what do we really need here? We could take on another salamander. I wouldn't want to leave him short-handed though. Maybe we just give him some... Yeah, like we have a lot of sources. We'll just give him a unit of sources. Here, have these guys, because you currently don't have a lot of great anti-large. Okay. And then Ratok the Priest joins Ratok the Saurus's army. And then it is full march. Full march for the Badlands. Gonna take a minute. That double move is actually gonna be really helpful. Alright, yeah, I don't know... If we take Gorgazon, then we can move through Agril Migdal up toward the north, and maybe we're just going to end up building a huge coalition of people who were not able to get along with the Orcs and Skaven. I think, given the way we've seen things shifting, it is less important now for us to continue performing hero actions against these guys for the sake of reputation. So, what could we do with Uldumoran that would actually be helpful? It doesn't look like there's a lot of value in headed up this way. So I guess we go back out into the open. Is this Grievitz? No, Grievitz is gone, in fact. Oh, he was wounded by that Tillian agent, I guess. Okay. Let's go over here and look around to the north a little. Yeah, we're even increasing with... I guess we weren't at war with the Warriors of Chaos officially earlier, so us going to war with Chaos and all of their affiliated factions is going to give us a lot of positive reputation with a lot of people. Yeah, we're trending way north with Tilia. We'll probably actually be able to get a trade agreement with them eventually. So I guess our map action heroes are just generally headed north. Maybe we should have Hextalk come over here and scout the two Skaven settlements so that we can see exactly what we're in for as we go after them. We can turn taxation back on here. Growth and... I don't know. sure, some of this. Corruption is trending. Okay, well, we'll have to build an untainted corruption building in order to solve the corruption problem here, which will then let us tear this down in order to build up another financial building. Right here, we're just waiting on population. Although this, okay, it's a little too expensive is all. Over here, we may as well continue to upgrade this. A little bit more money to be made. How much money are we making off a trade right now? Okay, 5,000 gold per turn. So our trade contracts are really coming through. It's just gonna be a little while before we can sign any more, probably. Yeah, I think there's a pretty good chance we're gonna go ahead and take the double move as soon as it's offered. We do need to raise or sack a couple of settlements for another blessed spawning, don't we? I don't remember what it was. Okay, spears with shields. That's pretty good. That is an okay unit. So raise or sack 3 settlements. Well, we can certainly sack Gorgazan. I don't think we're going to... Honestly, maybe we just burn it? Because it's already the case that taking it is not going to give us any meaningful control over the southern Badlands. We're going to have to either ally with or go to war with everybody who is a part of this area already. So letting one of them take the settlement doesn't really hurt us. Okay, the dwarves confederated in Karakazul. Which means that had we not managed to negotiate successful military access with the dwarves, we wouldn't have had a path through from here anyway, because the dwarves took over one of the settlements that was part of that path. So we really did have to do that. At some point, once Chaos is pretty well defeated, for right now, because of the Chaos incursion, the forces that stand against Chaos have a lot of additional diplomatic ties binding them. There is the fact that, you know, you just get a lot of positive diplomatic relationship with somebody by being at war with their enemies, but there is actually also a trait. Oh, what is that guy doing? Oh, that's a plague priest. We maybe need to get that army out of Skaven Blight. We were talking about moving them down to Sartosa anyway. Yeah, that's probably a thing we need to actually do. Okay, but as I was saying, in addition to that diplomatic stuff, there is actually a trait that several of the factions get called Shield of Civilization that causes them to be more receptive to other people who are holding up against Chaos. Right now, we are starting to sail on a wave of reputation that is based on that. When Chaos is properly defeated, all of that stuff is going to go away, and all of a sudden we're going to find it a lot harder to maintain our friendships. But we're talking about an event that is very, very distant. I think we probably have a lot of time left to take advantage of the Shield of Civilization. So I think we really need to dig in on that. Let's make all the friends we can now. Now that we're properly at war with Chaos, I wonder if that's going to cause the Puppets of Chaos. I think we were already at war with them, though. So probably their targeting isn't going to change here. Okay, the Blue Vipers were destroyed. You know, Orc factions are just having a real rough go of it the last 10 turns or so, and things are not going to get any better. Alright, the Lizardmen... Okay, I don't care about those guys. Those guys are on that other continent. Also, negative growth in the Doomglade. Whatever. That is extremely whatever. Okay, so if we were going to try to make it over to Valea's Sorrow... Yeah, just take the best route across the river. Do we end up in a place where we're healing? No, we end up in a place where we're still suffering from some wasteland attrition. Out of curiosity, is there a place we could move to where we wouldn't be? Actually, yeah, here. See, we could... You can see when we're looking at an area where there's attrition, there's a little skull and crossbones down to the left of the cursor in addition to on the movement path. And here, we don't get that. So it looks like we can just barely escape the wasteland and thus actually be getting actually be getting some amount of replenishment for the turn. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a double move turn. We're just gonna use that double move the moment it is available every single time it comes off cooldown. It's a really powerful right. So let's see, over here, I suspect it is not going to allow us to actually attack Gorgazon this turn, but we can get in position. It looks like actually they're about to suffer a rebellion. There are some sea islands that can't... Sometimes some sea points of interest are not explorable with an army that is in march mode. In full sail mode, rather. Let's see if this is one of them. If it is, I mean, it doesn't really change things too much because we're going to end up just outside of Gorgazon with this move no matter what. So you just land on this beach. Let's see if they'll let us have it. Oh, they will indeed. Your army will perform better in battle? We're going to do several turns of running here. I guess let's take this. A strange campsite is discovered populated by statues. A fire still burns and a cooking pot bubbles, and yet no living thing attends. Just statues fashioned in the throes of a failed escape. Then, in the undergrowth, something hisses. This needs to be a lightning-fast raid. These fleet-footed escapees will increase your movement range and replenish your armies. So we get a big bonus to replenishment rate and an item that is fine. It's not honestly worth equipping, probably. Okay, let's just move the very largest amount that we can. You guys can stay on land. And we do need to just replenish a little bit with some of these armies, but I guess I'm not too worried about hitting Gorgazon with a damaged army. Yeah, this should be a pretty easy take. Okay, so you're headed north to see what exactly is going on north. Oh, hey, look, it's Greebits. He's back. We are unlikely to be able to kill him. Let's just run past him with a double move. And you are just headed over here. Okay. So armies will be unable to change out of march stance once they use up their initial movement range. That's fine. I think we want everybody in full march anyway. This is definitely my favorite of all of the rights. Okay, let us go and search the ruins. Exactly what are we looking at here? Oh no, Skaven revealed. Who could have foreseen this? So, oh, okay. No army in the settlement and no garrison buildings. That's lovely. You are going to, yeah, continue to get better at map actions. Alright. It really annoys me, though, that it shows you end turn when all of your stuff has movement. Also, I forgot to move Crepus before hitting the right. That's annoying. Well, get in the water. It does suck, though, that it didn't give him the extra movement range. Because that really should be how that works, right? Additional campaign movement range for armies and characters this turn. So it should have given him the extra 100%. He should just have 200% of his normal movement. But that's clearly not how it works. Okay, we can definitely upgrade this. And we're minus public order for the moment, but it should be fine. I don't think it's gonna actually fall far enough for it to matter. We're not that far from being able to upgrade it again, and then we'll be able to improve our monument even further. See, this guy he's a plague priest, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's just gonna go over to Skavenblight and spread the plague, and we really don't want this army to be there when that happens. All right, Tiktaq'to. Wow, that attrition damage is like extremely serious. Also, you can move much farther than you were predicted to be able to move, but we don't want to move into a place where he's going to be suffering attrition again. Right here is safe. And in friendly territory, his extremely high rate of replenishment will kick in. Yep, turns out everything's going to be just fine. So Yark moves up to, let's find a spot near Gorgazon where we are not suffering attrition. You actually, I'm gonna have you stay on my side of the line because you really do need a little bit of healing time. And you can also just get on land. Probably the people of Gorgazon are going to figure out what's up here, but it's just not going to matter. It's actually kind of annoying that a rebel army is going to spawn, because we're going to have to deal with them a little bit, too. Oh well, whatever. And Uldomorin also has movement. So we're headed toward Dragon Fire Pass, I think is what this is called. Okay, we can see here in Karaz-Karak a healthy garrison building, an army that should be building up but isn't for some reason. Well, whatever. 10 units in that garrison with those walls is probably going to be good enough for them to hold. Alright, I think we've actually made use of all of our stuff now. Out of curiosity, can we, at this point... No, really. 55 trending toward 110. We're still looking at red trade agreement. They're upset because it would be better for me than it would be for them, despite the fact that it's 100% positive for them. I guess. I can't imagine any other reason why that would still not be negotiable.
I hope your words are wise.
And same deal here, presumably. That's, you know, it's annoying.
You have a proposal? We are willing to
So with the Border Princes, we have to think carefully about this, because we may have to take part of the Southern Badlands from them by force, right? So even if we could take a non-aggression pact, I don't know that it's a slam dunk. We would at least have to consider it. Alright, the Empire is loving us and also really feeding us. Can't make trade agreements with the dwarves, but as soon as we can, we should, and they will love it.
Do you wish the lady's favor?
Alright, we're just gonna have to check in with them later, I guess. The diplomatic systems in this game could certainly use some work. Apparently, we're about to bring in 10,000 gold from income this turn, so we gotta figure out exactly what we want to spend that all on. And we know that we want to improve Krepus's army, because we may actually want them to be able to go and fight chaos, should chaos appear, or really anybody. So some of the income is going to go to that. I'm not sure if we are in a position where we can afford to run another army on top of what we already have. As we have seen, the escalating cost of each army is a really significant factor. But if we don't, I don't know what we're going to spend all the money on. We're going to be able to cap out our provinces pretty quickly. We're definitely more bound by population than we are by gold at this point. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll just stockpile a whole bunch of gold and then start running another army sometime soon before we're really ready to do so. We'll just use our massive amount of cash on hand to cover it. It looks like the vampire counts are in pretty bad shape, and the von Karstein vampire faction doesn't seem to exist anymore. I think they would be right after the vampire counts. So maybe we can take over some of this land up here? Who owns this? Okay, Tempelhof still exists, which is kind of crazy. That's a minor vampire faction that is almost always eliminated early in the game. And then up above that, you have empire factions. Okay, we'll feel out the situation up there. They have successfully spread the plague to Skavenblight. Things are just going to be miserable there for a little while. Nothing we can do about it. Toddbringer, what's up? Peace treaty? Yes, sure, absolutely. It certainly is not helping me at all to be at war with Midland. I guess we should have declared formal war on Chaos earlier. I didn't realize that we weren't at war with Chaos. It's unusual for a faction that is sort of on the side of order to not start the game permanently at war with the Chaos Warriors. So if we could get a proper alliance from Tilia so that we could have effective control over Miragliano, that would help us a lot. And the trade agreement with them, I have to assume, like, it's very valuable, and it's only going to get more valuable as we continue to acquire new goods. Maybe we'll just pay them. You know, we could afford to pay them an awfully large sum of gold. Maybe that's what we do with all this income, is just buy our way into all of the diplomatic contracts that we've been wanting the whole game but having trouble getting. Alright, we got ourselves a sequence of annihilation, which is pretty good considering that we're about to hit some more settlements. So we were headed toward the sequence of geomantic healing, which I think means we want to go through absolute obedience, even though, just as in real life, absolute obedience, not actually very good. Not a great thing. Alright, you should go and show me what exactly... No, I apparently missed the settlement. Yeah, I want to see exactly what is in Caracate Peaks. How many rats are we talking about? I assume it's a lot. Okay, a small partial army, but the settlement itself has a 19-unit garrison. Also, it's like extremely difficult to get that bar to show up for some reason. Alright, well, let's get you better at blowing holes in walls, because that might be a thing that we want to make use of soon. Alright, it looks to me like the dwarves may have designs on Valea's Sorrow. If we can take it, will we? I mean, me being in control of Caracate Peaks would certainly be useful. Would it, though? It actually is not a very good settlement. And if the dwarves take it over, that's effectively just as good for us, because we already have to ally with the dwarves to get Karaza Karak to count. Maybe we just head up to Black Crag. We could take over the whole province of Black Crag, and Black Crag has a gold mine, which is extremely valuable to us. Iron Rock has iron, Caragdron has wood. This is a high-value province. And it's got a 10-space major settlement. Yeah, maybe we just let the dwarves deal with Clan Moors for now? I don't know. Not a decision we have to make right this second, I guess. Okay, somehow Gorgazon got itself under control. You are in range. I think we can probably just auto-resolve a battle here real quick. Yeah, that looks like a pretty safe one. Did we lose... Okay, no, we did not lose any units in either army. As is to be expected. Okay, I guess, yeah, we sack it. Honestly, if we sack it and then raise it, will it? I don't know if it will count twice for the quest or not. So that was one. And then I believe we are not allowed to raise it this turn. I think you can't raise a place that you just sacked. Yeah, so I don't want to occupy it. It's not valuable to us. We are just going to burn it and leave. Okay, so you... I guess just stay on my side of the line to continue replenishing here, and then we'll head up through Dwarflands and he can replenish the whole way. Yarrick is... Oh, Yarrick is finally at the point where he's focused on spells, right? We're going to pick up some Chain Lightning and some Time Warp and everything. So we have to get the standard 4 points in here. What do we want to improve? Soul Quench seems not great so far. Let's try improving that. We get a speed and defense decrease for flying enemies every time we cast. Don't think that's particularly valuable. There's definitely something to be said for taking Gifts of the Jungle, I suppose, but I really do want to get Arcane Conduit in that army. And Krokgar has the ability to... I think we're going to skip the Horned One upgrade. I probably wouldn't have gotten the Cold One upgrade. I would have left him on foot until the Horned One, and then eventually you take Grimlock. But we can just skip the Horned One, because once we have Grimlock, we're certainly never going to take him off. So we can get... Oh, interesting. Some of these, there are leadership buffs here for all of our armies, not just his army, when fighting certain factions, in addition to big buffs for his army when fighting certain factions. Well, we're likely to be fighting Greenskins and Skaven in the near future, so grabbing this doesn't seem terrible. But maybe we do want to start picking up the Redline stuff. Or just continuing his normal yellow line, because I do want to grab, like, Deadly Onslaught is a great skill. And then 20% weapon strength. Eventually Swiftness of Itzel, which seems good. I think we're going to hold off on all this stuff. Do we want to grab his Blessing? Yeah, the Blessing is just one skill point, and these are pretty good, right? So, like, probably not this one, because the settlement buildings are providing money, but it's not very much money. Upkeep down for Source Infantry and Temple Guard. He already has some buffs for Source Infantry, right? Yeah, upkeep down for Source. So, this plays into that. Our sources would be very, very cheap. But we don't really need money. Magic resistance and speed, that doesn't seem very good. Post-battle loot and ambush success chance up seems alright. Big casualty replenishment rate boost is also very good, but we're headed toward one of those for everybody anyway. Maybe he doesn't actually need this. Then again, he's not going to have the blue line stuff for a long time. So maybe we want to take this because his army's going to have pretty weak replenishment relative to the rest of our armies. Yeah, that might be a good enough reason, actually. So right now, his guys really do not replenish very quickly. And we don't need the money. Okay, so we probably want... I think I'm going to have Krukgar run forward. We'll leave Yarrick behind to deal with this, because I want Krukgar to be in position to get a lot of XP. So we're going to move through Dwarf lands, because the Dwarves will give us military access, and I don't think these guys are... yeah. They are not likely to do so, and I still don't know what we want to make of them diplomatically. I want to avoid offending them for the moment. Grimgor Ironhide, it looks like, is maybe coming home to defend against the dwarves. Well, his army's not at full. And they're pretty close to the end of our movement range. I think I'm going to go ahead and... ooh, I was going to hinder their replenishment. We do have the option of attempting an assassination here. And hinder replenishment actually isn't that likely to succeed. Yeah, let's try to assassinate that big boss. Can soften this army up a little bit on their way south. Okay, didn't work out. Oh well. So the vampires are holding up in Castle Drakenhof pretty successfully. And we're not going to have an army in position to affect that anytime soon. Okay, Krepus, you are headed for Sartosa, just as quickly as you can get there. And then, with 20,000 gold, let's see if we can get that trade agreement. It would be 12,000 gold per turn for us, so really, we can afford to offer them a huge amount and still see that pay itself off pretty quickly. What if I give him 10,000 gold? Okay, success, moderate likelihood.
No, sir.
Really? Okay. Listen, I'm not gonna... oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to offer it, and then add an offer of payment. We could spend a lot of time dialing this in very precisely to get the largest possible amount of benefit. But let's try a big swing here. I really just want this to work. Really? Not even for 15,000 gold. Alright, I'm going to try the whole 20,000 here. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to wait. Because we're making 10k per turn. Like, this doesn't really represent that much money to us.
Not likely.
Okay, so he's just not going to do it for money. I wish that, he would save us all a lot of time and just say that. So with them, it's... you know what, let's just wait. Okay, so I have 20,000 gold to play with here. Khemri. What does Khemri need? Khemri has an open slot. So this could be any recruitment building. I guess we need a weapon crafter's commune, right? We know that. Okay, Alhake's weapon crafter's commune is complete. There is not a ton of benefit for this last Crimson Pyramid upgrade. So I guess, I don't think I need to upgrade the walls here. Let's just leave that for now. We're just going to go through all of our settlements here and see what needs upgrading. Well, this definitely needs to happen. Vulture Mountain is very important. We need to get Vulture Mountain upgraded. Do that. I suppose we could take this upgrade. I'm kind of thinking that the most important thing we could do here might be just waiting and letting this level up all the way so that we can finish the pylon. So maybe even another growth building. I really do want to get this place leveled up quickly. Alright, our home region, you do that, but that's not terribly important. Let's see about some of this newer stuff we've taken over. Is there any big obvious improvements to make here? Yeah, this would be good. Down here, this would be nice. Okay, it turns out we actually do have a use for, like, kind of a lot of money. Yeah, let's cap that off. And here, I don't think we have anything valuable to build here, right? We have all of the money-making structures in place. You know what? You can build a sacrificial altar of Sotek in a small settlement. Maybe that's what we do with it. But later, you know, next turn. Let's see what the dwarves do over here. Continuing to fight the Skaven will definitely be good with good for our reputation with the forces in the area. So I suppose that's a good reason to hit Valea Sorrow. Oh, we hit Valea Sorrow because we wanna sack or raise another settlement, right? Because I really want to make sure that it's me who gets Black Crag. Do they want peace? They do. Sorry, guys. I definitely understand where you're coming from here. It's just a little too late for that. And they'd always be looking for an opportunity to backstab us anyway, right? So I suppose a thing worth thinking about is that we will not be able to trade with the dwarves unless we develop a line of contiguous ownership up to their capital. Like, it has to go from our capital to our border that touches their border, and then from there to their capital. So if we were trying to establish trade with them, we would either have to go to war with the border princes and own a bunch more stuff up to here, or they would have to own all of this, which is unlikely to happen, especially since I kind of want to take Black Crag. We could try just burning all of this stuff and hoping that they take it over. It's really awkward that they hold this tiny little bit of land up here and this is where their capital is. Because if I take over Black Crag and Iron Rock, in order for there to be a line of ownership, they would have to own... They would have to go through the Border Princes. They would have to take over a bunch of stuff from the Border Princes and from Tilia. I guess we're probably just never going to get trade with the dwarves. It's not really on the table. Okay, that's unfortunate because it would have been a valuable contract and it probably would have been pretty easy to get. But we'll live. Okay, Warherd of Chaos destroyed. That's nice to see. And I think the very instant we get the opportunity to make a proper military alliance with the dwarves, we're going to take it. And the reason that I don't like military alliances with the AI in general is that they use the combined strength of your army and their army to make really irresponsible decisions. But I think that a military alliance with the dwarves is important enough to our long-term goals that I'm willing to put up with it. Basically, they're gonna do wild stuff, and we're just gonna follow them into war. It is not realistically possible to guarantee that you will be able to maintain a military alliance with two factions because they could just decide to go to war with each other. It happens sometimes. But you can totally maintain a military alliance with one faction if you're willing to consent to some military adventurism on their part. Oh, Krukgar doesn't have all his legendaries, right. Okay, so we are on the quest for the Hand of Gods. Construct 2 of each of the following buildings, stone marker. Krukgar is ancient, a Saurus that has spent his existence fighting the myriad enemies of the Lizardmen. Such a long life has seen him, on occasion, fall into conflict with rival Slann whose interpretations of the Great Plan differ from his own. Yeah, I know all about that, buddy. Nevertheless, when a summons comes from Lord Mazdamundi, the oldest and most powerful of all living mage priests — by the way, Mazdamundi definitely dead in our game — Krakagar is duty-bound to answer. The command from Mazdamundi is weak, no doubt a result of the Great Warding's disintegration, which in turn is due to the fading vortex on the High Elf Isle of Ulthuan. The ancient Saurus decides that a skink must tap into the geomantic web directly to clarify Mazdamundi's directive. What is a stone marker? Okay, hold on. Let's go have a look at our building browser. What is stone marker? Tap into the geomantic web directly. Oh, okay. It's that. Well, we have plenty of those. So that'll auto-complete on the next turn. Okay, I think we want to hit Valea's Sorrow. They've moved in some more units, but they're not units that are a threat to my army at all. And Valea's Sorrow's natural garrison is terrible. Yeah. So I think our plan is to sack this and then leave it for the dwarves to finish. We'll take the lightning strike bonus. Boy, it's not even worth anything. Maybe I just raise it. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn it. Not allow the rats to rebuild in it at all, and we're gonna let the dwarves actually take it over. I think that's fine. I don't want it, because we're not gonna have good presence in this region no matter what. Okay, hey, speaking of dwarves, let's just pop in here real quickly. Not willing to consider a military alliance? What if I gave you 16,055 gold? Low. Okay. Listen, our relationship with them is still trending northward pretty hard. It is absolutely still possible. Okay, Yarrick, could you maybe make this happen real quick? I think we shouldn't see losses here. I guess, actually, people are wounded enough that we totally might. Let's manually resolve this, just to be on the safe side. I did not equip our banner. Oops. I mean, it's not going to have an effect. Obviously, we will win this battle. But I should have equipped that banner. So I'm just going to raise this, I think. And we'll see if it counts as a third. I don't know what the wording on that thing is. If it probably says sack or raise 3 settlements. So I guess given that wording, I would expect that raising this will not count as a third one, because this is still one of the 2 settlements we have done a sack or raise on. But it is our third raise or sack action. I guess we may as well gamble. See if we can get the bar. Okay, so the bar went up, but our current pool went down. And this does not matter very much. And in fact, I bet this is actually going to be really easy because of the fact that they're so wounded. They're going to break like immediately as soon as we start shooting at them. Okay, you fire at, I don't know, their war boss, I guess? You just kind of like get forward, let the Saurus's approach, and yeah, we'll do some of this. Keep the injured units back. And we have some spells we can cast. You know, we could like try overcasting a Soul Quench, see if we can get some actual damage out of it. Well, I have to say, I'm surprised that they are still fighting. We can drop some rocks over here. This battle is 100% a formality. Okay, so you should probably step forward a little bit. These guys are cavalry, so do they count as large? They do indeed. You can see here, this is a unit of large entities. So we'll have the salamanders turn and shoot at them a little bit. That should put an end to that pretty quickly. Is this guy mounted or is he on foot? He is on foot, so he is not large. That said, he's gonna get absolutely shredded. Yeah, sure. Stick in on him. That's fine. You guys should back up so you don't get blown up too much. And you, I guess, can throw a quick Foz protection on them? Okay, so we've broken those two. No big surprise there. This is like the only other unit that's even capable of dealing damage to us, and it's actually pretty fast, unfortunately. The good news is we can fire while moving, so they're not going to be able to kite us as effectively as they would kite some factions. And they're going to be pretty soon the only the only unit on the field that's actually still fighting. Got a lot of permanent breaks going on here, so we're just going to pursue them all the way to the edge of the map. That'll be fine. I'm kind of shocked they haven't given up yet, actually. Considering the fact that everybody else has given up. Yeah, this happens with orc armies, where you get a lot of units surrendering quickly, despite the fact that they haven't actually hit like the army damage threshold. Because like we've seen many times, there's a threshold that causes the entire army to just immediately surrender. But these guys have not hit that. They're giving up. It's actually individual units giving up. Oh, get out in front of him. Don't let him get away. Enemy Lord is dead. There we go. That took longer than I thought it was going to. Just given how injured our unit of Sauruses was, and how injured our units of Skinks were, I was a little concerned that the auto-resolve would kill them, even though we were definitely going to win the battle. I guess I shouldn't have been too worried about the Sauruses. Sauruses have a massive auto-resolve bias, it seems like. But the Skinks totally could have died, and it would have been a shame to lose units of Skinks that have this much veterancy accumulated. Okay, so we burn this and just let whoever wants to take it, take it. It's not actually any value to us, especially if it's going to be the only settlement in the province we own, and then we get back to the important business. Another reason that it's important for us to take Black Crag, aside from the fact that it actually is a pretty valuable and useful settlement, is that it will give us somewhere up north to do recruiting and stuff. Even for just pulling units in via the Regiment of Renown and Blessed Spawning menus, we have to be in friendly territory, despite the fact that we don't have to, like, go into replenishment mode or anything. So we just need an outpost up here. One thing I'm not clear on about the trade routes is whether it works to have a connection that goes, like, from your capital to one of your ports to another one of your ports, and from there to a shared border. Okay, that did not, in fact, count as a third settlement. Fair enough. So what I'm wondering is if we could get control of Barak Var, and then some of the territory in between. If it would work, like, from our capital to Zandri, to Barak Var, over to here, and then to the Dwarven border and capital. I guess we'll find out. Okay, Ratok of the Heavens is going to start grabbing Chain Lightning, because I think Chain Lightning is quite a good spell. Alright, and we can head up this way. Trying to find Krokagar, a spot that isn't going to be suffering from Badlands attrition, but looks like we are maybe just not in a good spot for those. Okay. Well, no, the whole point is that you're not supposed to be going into Border Prince's land. You know what? We'll just run down here. Take a turn of not suffering attrition again. You can take advantage of his new replenishment rate bonus for a turn. Alright, so things are going pretty well for the Empire. It looks like they have not managed to confederate all of their minor Empire factions, but aside from that, things are going pretty well. Assuming you are also, yeah, not super good at dealing with Grievous. Grievous is a real problem. This particular Orc agent is a real issue. Oh, we got a critical success. That was a real assassination. That guy is actually permanently dead. Not that it matters much. But in addition to carrying out assassinations being a great way to make money, or being a great way to make experience, you do also get traits from it. So like you know, when you have an army spend a lot of time in March mode, they get a trait that makes them move faster in March mode. So it is valuable to do in a bunch of ways, even if the individual like enemy unit that you are killing doesn't matter at all. Alright, Skaven Blight will be able to pursue another upgrade next turn. And here, what do we want to do here? I guess we need a weapon crafter's commune here. We don't have a source of wine. We should probably have a source of wine. Oh, also, we're actually hitting the population cap, so we could remove this. No, wait. I think we want to keep this in place, because we're actually exactly hitting the population cap next turn even with this, and I think destructions occur before growth is calculated, so if we destroyed this now, it would take an extra turn. Let's go ahead and build up the wine building, though. So actually, we want to hold on to a bunch of money, because the upgrade of Sartosa is going to be very expensive. Yeah, okay. So I guess we just won't spend. Also, holding on to a lot of money puts us in a good position to bribe people really hard next turn, if that looks like a valuable thing to do. So I think I'm going to let the dwarves worry about Caracate Peaks. I think they probably have it under control. You know what? We should probably make sure Clan Moors goes down, I guess. I was thinking we could send Tiktaq'to straight to Black Crag. Or maybe to Iron Rock, because Black Crag looks like it's going to be kind of a pain to get a hold of. We have armies coming, but Black Crag might not fall until the reinforcements arrive. Yeah, I might go to Iron Rock first, just so that we can get a friendly settlement to get our good replenishment rate in. This army's almost full. We're going to have a look at exactly what's in that before we'll know how safe we are around them. It's entirely possible that the orcs are not capable of putting together a single stack that would be a threat to Tiktaq'to, because Tiktaq'to is, with his army being so flyer dependent and everything, obviously like competent ranged units are a pretty serious threat to us, but the orcs don't have any. Like in their entire roster, I don't think. And a high-tier vampire army could be dangerous without ranged units because of the fact that, first of all, they have access to some pretty good magic, and secondly, they have access to their own flying melee units that are a danger to my flying units. But the orcs don't even really have that. I think the Orc School of Magic did get a buff since I last played them, so who knows? Maybe it'll turn out that I have to be more afraid of their casters than I used to be. But I don't think they have any flying units. I think one of their legendary lords can get a flying mount, but that might be it, actually. I don't think their lords even normally have access to flying mounts. A military alliance was negotiated between the border princes and the dwarves. That's a little inconvenient for us. I guess we're going to have to try to maintain a web of military alliances to hold the Southern Badlands. It's definitely not ideal. I don't know. If we get all of the rest of our campaign goals finished and the Southern Badlands problem persists, we can just go down there and break a bunch of our alliances and take it by force, right? It's looking more and more like that's what's going to happen. We're going to finish everything else, and then we're just going to have to destroy our diplomatic rating and blitzkrieg all of the settlements in a single turn. Okay, we didn't do that, and I don't care. Huh. This didn't complete. We have more than 2 stone markers. I don't... Ooh. Alright, let's take the Engine of the Gods upgrade. I don't know that we're going to necessarily keep him on that, but I definitely want that to be an option at least. Hold on a second. Do we have a bunch of stone markers? I wonder if maybe the problem is that I've upgraded too many of them to lodestones. Let's see here. Where can I build one? I suppose we could disable taxation here. Destroy this and build a stone marker in that spot, maybe? There's probably a minor faction, or a minor settlement somewhere where I just have an open space. Yeah, here, we'll just build one here. Okay, so in 3 turns, that's very frustrating that the lodestones don't count. Okay, get this, destroy this, upgrade this. We probably... Do I actually want a temple? I don't think I even want this Temple of the Old Ones here. Because I don't think the Bastillodon with the solar engine is actually all that good of a beast. Now let's get rid of that too. Do some rebuilding. We definitely want to do that as well. So that's all of our money, really. It takes forever to build things in an uninhabitable climate. Skavenblight is just terrible for us. Alright, so Tiktaq'to, do you hit Carricade Peaks? Here, let's check this out. They are on a single settlement, so if I hit Carricade Peaks here, they would be dead. And then we can just leave it open and let the dwarves take it. So I don't actually think it's very good, despite the fact that it's on our list.
Greetings, honorable.
Still bright red. And that could be our third sack, or our third raise. Let's see, they have warp lightning cannons, which are a little bit dangerous. Have some catapults, which I'm not wild about. It looks like we could actually take this pretty easily, though. Yeah, I guess let's do it. Somebody's got to do it. And the only part of our army that's damaged are the red-crested skinks, which almost certainly will not be involved in the battle. So yeah, they have a very small number of ranged units, and they have some siege equipment that we're going to have to destroy. This is extremely doable. And we will finally be done with clan wars. We'll just raise this thing. I'm sure that the reward for sacking it will be considerable. But I think we'll probably just raise it, just to get it over with. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what considerable means. If it's a large enough number, I could be tempted, I suppose. Let's worry about actually getting there first. So it looks like we're not seeing a lot of dead space on the tower ranges. There'll be some holes at the very, very edge right next to the wall. And that is where we will go. We do have to be pretty careful with the Carnosaur. Because I do not want to get... They have a considerable number of Skaven, of Storm Vermin with halberds, and we want to be really cautious not to get in trouble on that. Oh, I didn't swap our dude back. He's on his Engine of the Gods dinosaur. So we're going to have a hard time sniping their lord then. Well, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just leave him over here then. And like I said, we got this dead zones right up against the wall, so that's how we're going to set this up. I don't know for sure whether the Carnosaur is going to kick the door open or not. I think he's not. I think it would be bad for us for that to open right now. You two over here, you also over here. Alright. This, and then... Everybody get on up there. And who is it that thought I was ordering them to stand? Okay, you guys, do not just run in front of the door. Why, or in front of the tower? Why would you do that? Okay. Just get over here and we'll figure it all out. So it looks like they've put the siege crews a little bit further forward than I was expecting. I think I'm going to ignore the slingers on the walls for now. We're just going to go straight for the city center. Because I want to deal with the siege stuff right now. Alright. First of all, you, Skink Chief. They have a Plague Gracier. He probably has to get eliminated pretty quickly. While they have Storm Vermin with Halberds back here, they also have Doom Flayers. I'm wondering if it's safe to have the Colossedon Hunters just land and have at, like, these guys over there. I think it might be. Because most of their melee is far enough away. In fact, we can have Tiktaq'to help with that. Or we can have Tiktaq'to just go straight at the priest. Does he have... Sorry, he has Drop Spear, Tepak upgraded, and drops. He just gained another charge. I guess that must have been a patch change? Seems like a strange choice, though. And the rest of y'all just get over here and attack the catapults, I guess. We'll do some rock drops on the way through. Sorry, I want to do a rock drop that's actually going to give the fire vulnerability. Okay, so they're moving units back in to fight. I think we probably want to call off the swoop down and attack move. Alright, we're getting some pretty good damage here. I think we probably want to maybe cool it with the rocks now, though. Just thinking we definitely want to have some left for the Storm Vermin. So this will reduce melee attack and melee defense. Doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I guess none of our stuff is worth using. Just get it done. Okay, and then over here. We could definitely be casting some spells. We do have to watch out for, of course, as ever, we have to watch out for the summoned Skaven clan rats. So we want to make sure that our melee troops and our ranged troops are right on top of each other. And then I'm going to have you crawl up to the wall, because we can be casting spells over the wall and messing with these guys. Ooh, okay, maybe stop right here, actually, outside of range of the Globadiers. So there's a lot of clan rats down there. I'm wondering if we just start shooting crows over. I mean, these guys are the big problem, right? Let's drop some lightning on the wall. They can't really do anything about this. Okay, that should be dealt with pretty swiftly. Yeah, that's a pretty good lightning bolt. Alright, how's this going? We are taking some fire from the catapults. And understandably. Move around, and then actually, probably the warp lightning cannons are the next most dangerous. The catapults are... Well, the catapults do a lot of damage. Yeah, I guess let's focus on them next. Once we burn out the catapults, we're not really in a lot of danger in the sky anymore. Alright, what is the next spell? I guess let's go ahead and do, like, Flock of Doom is going to have more effect on their weak units than it is on their strong units, which is a shame. But it's also really just going to hit a ton of guys right now. Ooh, that's interesting. So they spawn some dudes on top of the Carnosaur. That's a bad idea in the sense that there's no way they do any damage to that Carnosaur. But if they caused him to rampage and then run to a place I don't want him to run, that could be bad. Okay, 20 seconds left on that. Do we want to... Probably want to do this, right? Just shoot the... Hold on a second. Let's pause. Let's make sure we line this up right, because I don't want this to start too early. I want to make sure that it hits all the way through. You have to run up to a position that I think should be pretty safe. We're just going to make sure that we're checking in over here, that things are not going like horribly awry somehow. They do have units of ranged that they could pull. Yeah, in fact, which they are currently pulling back. Okay, so we ran off the crew of the Plague Claw catapults. Still have the Warp Lightning cannons to deal with. Just try to make them turn. These guys are not permanently broken, but there's only 10 of them left. Even if they came back to the catapults, they wouldn't actually be manning all of them. I think that's probably fine. And you guys just hang out. Their lord is actually dying pretty quickly. Our skink chief he's getting it done. Okay, they didn't even attempt to move out of that, so that was pretty successful. Make sure that actually goes off before I tell them to cast anything else. I have to say, I've been told on a number of occasions that like Beast is not a very good school of magic, and it definitely doesn't have the strengths that a lot of the schools of magic have. But I've been pleased with the output of our Beast Priest here. He gets the job done. Okay, their lord is actually pretty close to dead. I'm gonna get Tiktaq'to over here because I think there's a chance that their lord is going to break and flee soon. And I want to know that I can finish him off if he breaks away from everybody. I don't want him getting away. I want him dead. That's going to have a greater morale effect. And actually, I can kind of steer him like... He's afraid right now. He might want to run away from us. Nope. It's not really working that way. How much health does he have left? Oh, 1 second. Never mind. Roxburgh is totally going to get him. Tiktaq'to can help. Get down there and contribute. Alright, good work. Okay, we're messing up their ranged units pretty badly. I think we have control of this situation. The crows are definitely very good for fighting these, like, densely packed factions that we've been up against, like the Tomb Kings and the Vampire Pirates and the Skaven, with their lots of individually weak units. Okay, so that was not their only caster. I'm gonna have Roxburgh go after their other caster. And in fact, let's get you guys over here as well. Oh, they have 2 other casters. Oh, I see the Carnosaur has invited himself in. Well, I probably ought to do something about that. First of all, Whison's Wild Form. Weapon damage and armor. Then more crows. And Tiktaq'to gets in here and starts dropping rocks. Make it clear to these guys that they are not allowed to fight my Carnosaur. I did not consent to this. Right, get in there and finish breaking them. I'm gonna have my units of flyers go after their lords here. Tiktaq'to disengage and kill those poison wind globadiers, because that would be nice. I mean, we're doing pretty good work here. This is actually a pretty good time to drop some more rocks. Especially if they're gonna, like, stack their units all inside of each other like this. It's just irresponsible is what it is. In particular, we are concerned about these dudes. Victory is in our grasp, they say. Yeah, it seems like it. Now imagine if our priest was still on a flying mountain, he could just fly over here and drop the crows on this side. Wait until they're over something nice and dense. Sadly, we are running out of ammo. Oh, you can see the those little circles are the Skaven speed buff when they are afraid kicking in. Alright, are we done? Can we... Where's Tiktaq'to? I thought I had told him to... Oh no, that is Tiktaq'to. I assumed that was our other... was our hero, because why else would he just be sitting in the air not doing anything? Okay, can you smash this gate open? I wasn't even really thinking about it, but obviously you should be doing that. They sort of have control. Wow, actually, hold on. Let's pull the Colossedon Hunters out. I'm shocked to see our unit losing in melee combat with a priest. Alright, you go help them. Yeah, man, the Colossedon Hunters, I gotta say, Ripperdactyls, still very unimpressive. Okay, so we should be able to get that door open pretty quickly by knocking from both sides at the same time. Possibly I just underestimated the melee prowess of a Plague Priest. I mean, I definitely have played Skaven. I know that they are not good melee units. This right here is what I was afraid of. That's why I sent the second dinosaur in. They're just pulling that old trick of just opening the gate for him. I guess Manticore? I don't really know what the move is here. We could use a Manticore to keep on one of their one of their heroes, just push them off the map. Okay, they finally gave up. It finally dawned on them what the situation was. There are a lot of places in the world where we would have done very poorly with this flyer-heavy strategy, but they were kind enough to give us a starting position where it's not a huge problem. Where we can just leave our flying units in the middle of the enemy army for long periods of time without them being in any danger, because nobody bothers to build ranged units. Alright, so 22 losses. Not exactly a terrible outcome. If we just sack this, we can burn it next turn. Its garrison will recover a little bit between battles, but it probably won't be a big deal. So if the sack value is like 20,000 gold or something, we may well just take it. Apparently we're never going to find out, because it is impossible to load out of this battle. Then again, like, if we have the $20,000, I guess we're just gonna use it as a bribe, but honestly, we need bribes. The AI does not have a huge eye for gold. Like, you can find yourself in positions where you have to pay hundreds of thousands of gold for things sometimes. So we'd still get 4,000. You know what? Let's just raise it, because this kills the faction, and I'm happy for them to be gone. Alright, so we got access to some sources. And another check on our big checklist. So now we're out of... Yeah. Assassinate, right. We are totally out of things for those lords to upgrade to. Or heroes, rather. Ooh, Warzag the Great Green Prophet. So he's a pretty good caster. I know that. I don't remember exactly how his stuff works. This is like one of my very first campaigns when I got Total War Warhammer was with Warzug. They have a rock lobber, some archers. They have a lot of giants, but like that's just not scary for us at all. Okay, Lord Croak. What was I going to do with Lord Croak? Greater Ward of the Old Ones. Ooh, 5% ward save for every unit in the army. That's pretty cool. Let's finish taking replenishment, and then I think we'll probably get that next. Alright, so through dwarf territory. Really? That's as far as you can move? These Badlands are terrible, man. Okay, so do we want to... No, we do not want to settle this. I do not care about this at all. Okay, so we've got Clan Moors off the list. That means there's very, very little left for us to do. Oh, sorry, this is the long victory. Southern Badlands, and this thing is basically all it is. Oh, hey. A rogue army. Gormag Radar is in my territory. Well, that's something we could deal with. So let's have... Does this unpleasant climate affect recruit time? It does not. Okay, so while we're here in Sartosa, I guess what we could do with Krepus... Skaven Blight... Yeah, Skaven Blight's under control. What we'll do with Krepus actually is... sail down to Alhaik or like Zandri maybe? Let's sail to Zandri. We'll have him complete his army in Zandri using the Khemri recruitment buildings. Okay, sailing too fast to interact with that. Well, I'm not going to stop for it. And we'll have him crush this rogue army, because we do not want a rogue army in our territory. I think they're really cool, and I like that they're around, but in my territory is a bad place for them. Did we kill this guy? I just need to generate XP. No? Well, let's try anyway, because he's probably going to try to kill me if I don't. Critical failure! Uldo Morin, our skink chief, attempting to take Millensteinhoff's life, has been wounded in the attempt. Also, this string is assembled in a really awkward way. Alright, well I guess we're done learning about new stuff in the north. I can't believe he wounded himself in the attempt. That's just very embarrassing. Oh, definitely upgrade that. That's very valuable. And then, with our money, I guess, yeah, just big building upgrades here. Carrick Zorn doesn't need to get to tier 4 all that badly. What do we want here? Do we want another growth building, maybe? Another 20... That's a 20% increase in our population gain. I just don't know if I care that much here. Yeah, alright, whatever. Let's just go down the list, I suppose. The Atalan Mountains. Want for nothing. Charnel Valley is slightly negative on approval. Well, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's let Karagord get to tier 4, then we can fix it. Coast of Araby is all capped out for the moment. I guess I don't have any money left. There's nothing left to look over. Okay, let's run one more cycle of enemy turns, and then we'll have a quick look at our allies, see if we can get any new contracts going. In particular, trade agreement with Tilia would be really lovely. And then I think from here our plan is to really dig into the war against the Greenskins. We have 3 armies en route. Tiktaq'to is in position to take Iron Mountain and then maybe Black Crag, and that'll serve as our staging ground. We'll definitely want to get whatever recruitment structures we can going there so that we can fix up Tiktaq'to's army if it takes damage, or maybe recruit a new force. I don't think that'll be necessary. And the dwarves are... wow. You know, the dwarves are being so stingy about giving us a military alliance, and then they're just allying with everybody else in the world. It's almost like they're doing it just to make us envious. Alright, they've retaken Carrick 8 Peaks. I wish that the AI was sophisticated enough to see me doing things like this, like raising important Skaven settlements and then letting the dwarves resettle them, and, you know, giving us some kind of special consideration because of that. I've done some very valuable things for the dwarven cause, and they're just not going to acknowledge us at all. Okay, the Warriors of Chaos have temporarily been destroyed. Definitely don't expect that to remain the case. I don't really understand the mechanics of how the different waves of the Chaos event spawn, so it's possible that we'll get a period of peace from them for a while here, but it also might be the case that the moment the last one of them is eradicated, the next big group will appear. It's only indirectly relevant to us, right? Because the importance it has to us is that it affects the decision-making of the people around us. Oh, Tilia... Okay, Tilia's defeating people, but they haven't actually taken Iron Rock. If they do, I'm going to be very annoyed. That's my big, terrifying-looking mountain. I know it doesn't have my name written on it or anything, but let me get over there and it will. Also, if I didn't know better, I'd think some of these random pirate factions were actually coming to attack our cities. I assume that the Puppets of Chaos must be doing pretty well over here for them to still be the only Chaos force that has any army left. Let's pop over to the coast real quick and see. Alright, Chaos Warriors are destroyed. Knowledge regained. The discovery of an ancient plaque has revealed lost knowledge, which may increase the magical effectiveness of our mage priests. So we can pay 1,000 gold for lots of extra winds of magic for 10 turns? Yeah, I'll do that. The Chaos Horde has poured in, a remorseless tide scouring all in its path. Again, that wave, the wave goes up, the tide comes back in. Yep, another wave rolls forth from the accursed Chaos Wastes. Okay, also a great big storm over here. It looks like these might be... Yeah, wow. I think the Chaos forces on this coast are doing very, very well indeed. Well, I'm sure that's annoying for them over here. Alright. Not objectives, diplomacy. Let's check in with our quote-unquote friends and see if they're willing to make some mutual gain here.
You have a proposal? We are
Okay, it's yellow.
Not likely.
Not a huge surprise.
The Empire. You have a proposal? We are willing to disagree with that.
Oh, it hesitated there for a second. I thought we actually had it. Okay, let's offer him some money. For real, 10,000 gold. We'll make this back very quickly.
Weak order.
Okay, so they're still not actually going to do it. We're still trending northward quite a lot. We'll get there. Okay, and the dwarves... Did I scroll past dwarves already? I must have, yes. Here we go.
Greetings, honorable ally.
We are over 200 positive reputation. And they have no qualms about getting into military alliances. We know that. Okay, likelihood of success low. I'm not even going to click on the check mark. Alright, people are still being difficult. For some reason, despite the fact that I'm doing all the lifting over here, nobody trusts or likes us at all. That's fine. We'll just keep doing the lifting and see what comes of it. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to Iron Rock this turn, so there's a chance we're going to lose our opportunity on that. And if we do, I'm going to be very annoyed. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time to see the beginning of our bloody campaign against these orcs, and to see if we can survive the rigors of friendship. And we'll see you then.